All right, welcome to Iyun Ben Sion and Mishna Yomi. We're going to deal with Kilayim, Mesachas Kilayim, Perek Gimel, Mishna Vav. Haisa Sadeu Zrua B'Tzolim. You have an onion field. Mavakesh Lita B'Socha Shuro Shadluim. You don't have space. You want to plant also squash there. Explain squash, butternut squash, pumpkins there. Ishmael Omer Okesh Te Shuros V'Notea Shura Achas Maniach Kamas B'Tzolim Makom Te Shuros V'Okesh Te Shuros V'Notea Shura Achas. Three machlokas, Shmuel, Rabbi Kiva, and the Chachamim. What you do, Rabbi Kiva says is normal. It's 2 rows of onions, 2 rows of glass of squash, pumpkin. Rabbi Shmuel says no. You need to have. All you can do is you could have 2 rows of onion, and then you have to clear out 2 rows of what used to be onion. You could put 1 row of squash in between, in the middle of those 8 amos, and this way you'd have 2 amos empty space on each side. Therefore, between every row of squash, you'd have 12 amos, including 2 of empty space. A little more mako, they say that you need 12 amos between them, but you can plant everything. You can have 3 rows of onions and then 2 rows of squash. There'll be 12 amos between the 2 rows of squash. Now, according to the Chachamim and according to Rabbi Shmuel, we're more machmir than like we Mishna Daled, where we said that if you have shtei shuros, you have 2 rows and 2 rows, it's okay, there's no problem, and no one argues over there. Notea shtei shuros, Mishnah Daled, shal kishon shtei shuros, shal glun shtei shuros, shal pal mitzvah mutter. The Mishnah says clearly it's mutter. So Tosas Yom Tov over here asks, he says, what's the difference? Why over there does everyone agree that's mutter? Here, it's not. So I'd like to answer this question based on the makor, the source for this Isser of Kilayim. There's 2 psukim. There's 1 pasuk in Parshas Kedoshim and Sefer Vayikra, which says, my mitzvah parsha, it says, Perek Yotet Pasuk Yotet, as Chuko Saiti Shmor V'hem Techalot Shabir Kilayim, Sadchol L'Tizra Kilayim. It says your field you shouldn't plant Kilayim. There's another pasuk, the second pasuk in Parshas Kiseitze, my brother's bar mitzvah parsha, which says in Perek Chav Beis Pasuk Pasuk Tet. There's a difference over here. One pasuk says sadcha, and it says sadcha before lo sizra kilayim. Sadcha lo sizra kilayim, and the pasuk in Tet says lo sizra karmachal kilayim. The word, the zriya, the verb is going before the noun, the karam, the vineyard. And then in Dvarim it also adds pentikdash leah zera shetizra tuas karam, which is not included in Parshas Kedoshim. So I want to say there's 2 Isurim by Kilayim. There's an Isur on the Soda, and an Isur of planting. There's an Isur of the existence of Kilayim, creating a mixture of Kilayim in your field. And there's an Isur of owning a field. This is an interesting Isur. This is the Parshas Kedoshim. Sadcha, the Isur, the first word is the noun. Sadcha, lo sizra Kilayim. The Isur is on the field. Owning a field that has Kilayim in it, that's an additional Isur over here. So that's the difference in a Soda. The Mishnah on Daled, Mishnah Daled and Perek Gimel was talking about shuros. It wasn't talking about a whole field. It was talking about individual. You have to have a lot of rows for it to be a field. So it doesn't look like a field at all. It only looks like shuros. So therefore, the whole Isser in Parshas Kedoshim wouldn't apply. The only Isser would apply of planting Kilayim. If you don't own a field, if you plant Kilayim, like the Gemara says in Brachos, Chita Sora v'Chartzam Apolos Yad, you plant them next to each other, that creates an Isser D'Oraisa of Kilayim. Sizra says you don't want to cause Kilayim. That's on the planter, not the owner of the field. So over there, so as long as it's not recognizable as a field, so here we're also only dealing with Isser D'Rabbanan. Shuros is not Mapolas Yad. So if there's an Isser, if it looks like your field, so then it's more suspect or more machmer over there by a field, because there's another Isser of owning a field that has Kilayim over there. So therefore, that's the Mishnah on Vav here. We're talking about a full sadas. Therefore, you have to make sure there's 12 amos between them. According to the Chachamim, should be recognizable as an onion field and not a squash field. When it comes to shuros, then it's only an isser of planting, and it's very recognizable. You have 2 rows and 2 rows. You didn't plant anything together, so there's no isser at all. I hope you enjoyed. See you tomorrow.